I don't believe the idea that school prepares you for the real world. School doesn't prepare you for normal adult life. A lot of schools focus on college preparation, which I don't think is fair to a lot of people because not everyone is best going to college. Like, a lot of people would succeed far more if they just went into a trade. And the trades are super important, and you can make a lot of money. Pretty much all the things that people tell you why you should go to college. I mean, sure, it's not as prestigious to be a plumber or an electrician, but why does that matter anyway? You can make a killing without a ton of student debt. But nevertheless, why is school set up the way it is? School doesn't set you up for a career because they don't trust you at all. Your life is entirely set up by a system of bells that tell you when to go to different rooms, and if you want to deviate from that, you have to ask a teacher. And I mean, it gets kind of stupid when you have to ask the teacher to go to the bathroom. And that's just weird. That doesn't even prepare you for college. Like, a couple of my friends that are already in college say that one of their biggest differences is that you're given more independence and people can just get up and leave class and then come back. In high school, you can't do that. And I think about 30% of my high school drama has literally been about the pass system. When I go to work, you don't need a pass to go to the bathroom. You just leave and come back. And I'm pretty sure it's that way at almost every job. The only thing I can think of that's as restrictive as school is prison. Now, I can understand why elementary school needs to be like that, because kids would just, run off. But, middle and high school, it starts to get kind of ridiculous. Yeah, some kids will just ditch class. But those kids were already mentally ditching class anyway. So, what do you do with those people? Everyone needs and has a right to an education. I think the perfect solution is get better teachers that can find their currency and motivate them to do school. But that's not really an option for most districts and most funding. So honestly, I don't know. Digital learning has changed a lot of things. One of those things being teachers have a lot less power. They're also kind of intruding on our homes. If you're wondering what my teachers see during Zoom classes, this is pretty much it. So I keep my room exactly this clean. I'm not actually disorganized, I just selectively clean my room. Teachers expect us to pay attention the same way that we used to because they expect that they can still rule by force. But lots of kids have figured out that teachers really don't have any power. And therefore a lot of people skip class. Now, I don't think that's wise, but I can't say I haven't thought of doing the same. So how do you make it so that the kids that want to do school, and the kids who don't want to do school? I think therein lies the actual problem. You have two sets of kids, one that wants to do school and one that's only there because their parents force them to be. And I really don't know what to do about that. Because I think when they bring in speakers to say school is important, that doesn't work on a large number of kids. Out of all the speakers my school has brought in, there's really only one that I really resonate with, who is Tom Cody. If you've ever heard of him, I think he speaks at a lot of different schools, might be on YouTube or something. But I really like his message. He basically says, yeah, you might not like being in school, but you're stuck here, so you might as well do well. And I don't like school a lot of the time. The only difference is that I've basically made it part of my identity, a really big part of my identity, that I am good at school. So it's a personal rule, almost as strong as my moral code of I turn in assignments on time, I do decently at least, because that's what I've done forever. And most of that is because I was told I am smart in elementary school. If you're curious about where the gifted, talented kids end up, they end up doing 2 honors classes and the rest regular courses and getting a 3.5 GPA. So now take all the kids that weren't called smart in elementary school. A lot of them probably feel like they're simply bad at school, and so they just stop trying. Which is why I think school needs to find a way to cater to everyone. Because there's some levels of school that everyone needs, no matter what your career is. But there's a lot of stuff that not everyone needs. I think most high school classes are not necessary for a lot of careers. I think everyone needs to know the basics of math, science, English, and history. But I think about 80% of people have no need for knowing, for instance, calculus. Some people need to know calculus, but not everyone. So I think school needs to stop pretending that it's preparing you for life, because it's really not. Because I have been way accelerated in math, and no one ever taught me how to fill out taxes. No one ever told me how to get a paycheck from a job. I literally just filled out the paperwork and gave it to my boss and hoped for the best. But that's kind of a problem. Because I know the expectation is that your parents will teach you those things, but that's really just continuing the same privileged people that already exist. Because educated parents with good credit scores will probably have kids that are educated with good credit scores. So school needs to teach you how to get a good credit score so that everyone knows how to get a good credit score. So I think there's a lot of stuff we don't need to know. Even though I like science and math a lot, I think math definitely has a lot of stuff that can be cut out of the curriculum for like 80% of students. And same for science. Though one thing I think 90% of students don't need is literature. Can we please cut out literature and focus on the practical English, please? Just like keep going to school, please. I know you might not like it, but it really is important. Stay in school.